Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Just through the Spirit, wanted to do this real quick. I was watching the apostles camp teaching that they did just this past Saturday, and the apostles addressed a question that was someone had posted on the comment board in regards to one of the 1,000-year periods referenced here, and I'll go ahead and read it in Revelation 20 and verse 4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai." And you see, because when it comes to the elect, they've always been the elect, and at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. At the end of the day, is the gathering of the house of David, which consists of the elect, the remnant, who were from the very beginning. They were sanctified, they were ordained to receive salvation. All right. And ultimately all Israel will obtain that mercy. But as far as the first batch or the first fruits, all right, the first dominion, it starts with the elect, the 1/3 remnant. All right. And within that elect, you have the elect within the elect, which consists of the leaders, all right, that are going to be ruling in the kingdom under Yahushai. Because, it all starts with Yahushai. By default, it's Yahushai's kingdom. So, it was written that some of the elect would be beheaded. They would be martyred in these last days that we're in right now. But fret not, because, hey, the elect, or to those that are martyred, you're going to get shotgun. You're basically going to get that shotgun position when Yahushua returns, right? Let me get this real quick. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. I'll start at verse 13. "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." Because when it comes to so-called death, so-called dying, people, they tend to fear it, and one of the many things that the elect are learning, in this process, because Yahushai conquered death, he defeated death, and Lord willing, we're of that number. Because that's another thing. Even when it comes to a lot of 2/3, when you tell them there's no such thing as hell, where your spirit is going to burn forever, a lot of Jake could take that and run with it, and they all have the attitude, well, hey, since I'm not going to burn forever, since I'm going to come back eventually, I might as well just live my life, right? I might as well live it up. But to those in their right mind, you see, we want to be part of the first dominion. We want to be part of the first fruits. All right, because again, all Israel is special to the Lord, but that elect is even more special, and that elect within the elect is even more precious. All right, because in the kingdom, all Israel is eventually going to be on a level above all other nations. But that elect, man, the first dominion, those first fruits, those that stood so stiffly for the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, you see, so to say, they're going to have special rights, I'll say, special access. And that's what we just want to be a part of the first fruits. We want to make it on the first go round. All right, we don't want to have to die and perish and then come back. We want to make it on the first go round. So, because again, it's all about that elect and being a part of that first dominion, because you don't understand. And that's what, again, inspired me, just through the Spirit to do this, because, well, let me not jump the gun. I'm going to go ahead and read this again in 1 Thessalonians 4:13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. So you see, because even when it comes to people that we may care about, loved ones, and they so-called die, right? Now it's easier said than done because we're in the flesh, but hey, fret not, don't worry about it, because hey, you'll see him again. Whoever we lose on this side, we're going to see him again. We're going to receive him again. We're going to get him back, man. And better yet, they're going to be in their right mind, perfected, perfect. And even more those that so-called die in the truth. We just had a recent brother in the truth pass away not too long ago. And hey, he's good, man. He finished his course. His suffering is over. Not to other people, they may shed tears, cry, and again, it's natural. We're in the flesh. But if anything, at least me personally, if anything, me, and I didn't know the brother personally, but I followed his story, I followed his testimony, for a few years, and I know the brother was going through it. He was suffering, and not too long before he passed away, he did a little testimony video going into some ailments that he was dealing with, and it's just like, man, damn, because Jake is hurt, Jake is suffering, man. Jake is going through it, Salakia, bear with me real quick. Salakia. Salakia. This is why 98% of the time you see Jake, man, doing videos and lessons, man. Jake got to go in the car, because Jake can't get a break. But, it's all good. But as I was saying, going back to the brother that recently passed away, before he passed away, he did a testimonial video just going into, some of the sufferings and things that he was dealing with. And again, not so coincidentally, he passed away. Right? Well, hell, if anything, like I said, just me personally, if I were to shed tears, I would shed tears now, because, hey, and it would be tears of joy, because the brother, his sufferings are over. He's good now. And Lord willing, if he's of the elect, if we're of the elect, and we're going to see that brother again. And that's just a small example of what I'm about to get. Because again, when someone so-called dies, especially if they're of the elect, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Because like I said, it's easier said than done, but we're going to see him again. We're going to receive him again, man. It's going to be one big family reunion on the chariot when Yahushua comes. So verse 14, it says, "For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him." So again, to those that are the elect, and more so the elect within the elect, all right, those elect men that die, all right, all the men, that we read about, right, and the elders of our elders, you hear certain of our apostles talk about, King Mashal and High Priest Yaquab, right, and certain other brothers that have passed on. Yahushua, they're coming back with Yahushua. So that's why I say it's going to be like that shotgun. They're going to have that shotgun because they're going to come with Yahushua. When Yahushua returns, and again, Yahushua, he defeated death, and we're being taught to not fear death. Because, Esau, he's going to use as a major tool, man, a threat. And again, a lot of people fear death because they merely don't understand death, man. Death is just merely the process of the spirit leaving the body, man. Your spirit goes back to the spiritual realm, right? There's no place where your spirit burns forever, all right? Or nothing like that. Hell is a condition that's played out on earth. So, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So again, those elect men that have died, so-called died, martyred, the martyrs too, they're going to come back with Yahushua. It says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord." So, matter of fact, verse 18, "Wherefore comfort one another with these words," because it's comforting, because again, we all have loved ones, people that we care about, and sometimes, they so-called die, right? And it hurts. Like I said, it's easier said than done because we're in the flesh and it hurts. But that's a part of this gospel. That's a part of this good news. It's not the end all be all. We're going to see our loved ones again, those that have passed on, brothers that have passed on in the truth. We're going to see them again. We're going to reunite, But as far as those elect men, hey, like I just said, man, hey, we're going to meet them in the clouds. It's going to be one big reunion in the chariot. Like, oh, such and such. Oh, shit, you made it. We made it. Like, call all y'all Bashamal Shai, right? Because from there, that's when the destruction is going to be taking place. All right. And that's going back to this whole first or 1,000-year period. Because, in Revelation 20, it talks about 2 1,000-year periods. Right. Well, going back to Revelation 24, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years." All right, so this 1,000-year period. Now, it's not to say that after 1,000 years, like some groups like Sakari, I guess supposedly they teach that after 1,000 years, just to put it in my own words, because these guys don't make sense. But I guess after 1,000 years, we're just gonna go into some, some type of what do you call those chambers, where they freeze you, and I don't know, man. These guys are teaching wayward doctrines and whatnot. But no, man. After 1,000 years, the nations, they're gonna get their plot of land, and they're basically gonna be able to live their lives. They're gonna get their inheritance, go to their respective lands, and be tributaries under the Israelites. But That's after the 1,000 years, all right? Because that first 1,000 years or that first day is pretty much going to be an undoing of all the hell that Esau has caused on the earth. That the first 1,000 years is going to be the establishing of the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai, getting the nations in order. Because the nations, they're still going to be in the flesh, so they're still going to be subject to sin, right? And that's what that first, a part of that, being contained within that first 1,000 year period is beating these nations under subjection, man. And get this in Revelation. Revelation chapter actually it's verse 2. Chapter 2, not chapter 3. Chapter 2, Revelation 2. Because you talk about payback, Jacob's crying out for reparations, right? And all that nonsense. You had some bugged out Jake this past Saturday coming up talking about, oh, y'all hear about that, them giving California, out there in California, giving reparations to blacks. Man, we don't want none of that shit, man. First and foremost, we want to see Yahweh Shai get his. Because at this point, man, Jake has been beat down so much. All we really want to see is just Yahweh Shai sit on the throne and Yahweh Shai get his and get it in, man, get his. Because like I said, by default, the kingdom is his. And we've been so humble, man. It's just, man, we just want to see Yahweh Shai get his. I always say, you just give me a few wives, because we're gonna be sipping real wine in the kingdom, man. And our women are actually going to be our women. They're going to actually be ours. So just me personally, give me a little shack with a few wives and some real wine, a couple of children here and there. Listen, I'll be all right, man. I'll be good. I just want to see Yahweh Shai get his in, man. But a part of the reparations of what we want to see is the real reparations, all right? The real justice is having our hand around these devils' necks, man. Having our foot on their necks, man. And there's more to it than just seeing an Edomite kiss a boot, kiss our boots, man. Man. That's it's Jake is simple. But Revelation 2, verse 26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And again, that's what that 1,000 years, that first day in the kingdom is going to consist of: beating these nations under subjection, establishing the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai into these nations, because again, they're still going to be in the flesh, right? Because again, the nations, they're going to be tributaries. All right, now after 1,000 years, it's going to be all right. I picture myself having some cool jack fights, sitting around in the crib, and but they're just still, they're going to be under subjection to us. All right, you're going to have Moab, the so-called Chinese, Eve getting their nails done. Eve, they're going to have their slaves, right? Their slaves are going to have slaves. So, this is what we want to see, man. All right, the real reparations. But that first 1,000 year period, this is what this is going to consist of. Because listen, and that's why I was saying, man, with the elect, those elect men, because they were with Yahweh Shai in the beginning, the Allahayim, creating everything. And that's why it's extra personal for the elect, because seeing, through the spirit and power of the Lord, man, what we created, being destroyed, seeing it in the condition that it's in, it's personal for the elect. It's personal. So that's what this first 1,000 year period is going to consist of, man. Just the undoing of all the wickedness and the reestablishing of righteousness on the earth. verse 27, it says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. All right, so this is what that is going to be contained within that first 1,000 years, man. Like I've been saying. All right, these nations, they're going to have to, get their ass beat, right? They're going to have to get ruled, dealt with harshly for a time being. And I just want to make this point. I always want to make this point because these nations, especially Esau, what they did to the Israelites, hey, they're going to get double. But I just want to make this disclaimer because it's all going to be done in righteousness. All right, we're not going to be buck breaking their men and no nonsense like that. Kidnapping their children, and all the shit that Esau does behind closed doors. We're not going to be doing none of that. Everything that we're going to do is going to be done in righteousness. All right. But these nations are going to be ruled with a rod of iron. That first 1,000 years, they're going to have to, get the stick put on them, man. Our foot is going to have to be in their ass because they're not going to want to do it at first. But eventually they're going to come to a point. They're going to come to their senses, sort of saying, it's like, damn, surely this is a wise and understanding people, because I touched on this not too long ago about how, hey, starting with Yahushua and the Israelites, being in power, it's going to be beneficial for the world, including the nations. The nations are going to benefit in our kingdom. So eventually the nations are going to see that, and eventually they're going to want to do right. But that's going to come after some time of whooping their ass, and like I said, man, just the reestablishing of the law, statutes, commandments, setting that standard. That's what that first 1,000 years is going to be, of the setting up of the standard of the Lord on the earth. Because again, man, Esau, he's worked a number, man. He's been in power, 500 years? Around that time. Well, hey, it's going to take 1,000 years to undo all the nonsense that he's done. That's what that 1,000 years is about, man. Isaiah 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. All right. So everything that Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is about, Esau, he's in complete opposite. All right. He's contrary. And this is why the earth is in the state that it's in. The earth is sick. The earth has a cancer. All right. It says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And when it's all said and done, after those missiles drop, this is when as I was mentioning earlier, the elect are going to get beamed up, and the missiles are going to be dropped. And that's what the job of those missiles is, to clean up everything. All right. All the filth, all the elements are going to be burnt up, because the air is polluted. Everything's corrupted. Everything's defiled, man. Like when you read in Habakkuk, he asked the Lord, like, damn, Lord, were you mad at the waters? Were you mad at the trees? Well, hey, everything is burnt. Everything is defiled. Everything is jacked up because of this devil, because of this curse. You see? Everything's defiled, man. And that's the job of those missiles, is going to clean everything up. Right? And then after that, when the dust settles, so to say, the elect are going to come down, New Jerusalem, which are the Yahushua, those elect. All right, and that's going to be the process of cleaning everything up, reestablishing the law, statutes, and commandments on the earth. Because Esau, he broke them all. And this is why everything is the way that it is. You see, Isaiah 24, verse. Isaiah 24 starting at 6. Oh, I'm sorry, Isaiah 14 starting at 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. All right. So once this curse is removed from its roots, hey, the earth is going to be able to yield her fruit again. She's going to get her strength back, get her youth back. The earth is going to be fruitful, right? Because Esau, everything that he promotes, it's death. It leads to death. He, wherever he goes, death follows, right? The laws, statutes, and commandments, they promote life. But Esau, again, he's turned everything backwards, everything upside down. So when this devil's taken out of power, The earth is going to be able to yield her strength again, man. And that, not just the earth itself, but all the creation in it. You know, the animals, creatures, the plants, you know, everything is corrupt, man. So when this devil is taken out of power, man, hey, like I said, the whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing, like hallelujah, you know. Call all Yahweh Shema Shai. Because verse 8 it says, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. And the whole ecosystem is jacked up. Esau cut down all the trees. You know, that's what a feller is, you know. Someone who cuts down trees, right? Because everything is supposed to be, all right? Everything is supposed to be in sync with one another. Everything is supposed to be, you know, in unison. You take one chain out of the supply chain, so to say, that it messes up the whole chain reaction, you know. And that's what Esau's done, from the ocean, the ecosystems, and just everything, you know. There used to be a point where, you know, you would have love bugs come around certain time of the season. You would have bees come around certain time of the seasons, worms springing up certain times of the season. We don't see this stuff anymore. Why is that? Because it's this damn devil. You know, well, hey, once this devil's taken out of power, even the trees itself is going to rejoice. You know, because again, the whole earth is crying out. The whole earth is crying out. Even the nations, you know. You go to the stores, man, you know, you're out and about, you see the misery on the look, you see the misery on the face of these people, because it's just like, man, they're waiting on the saints to get back in order. Whether they know it or not, their spirit is crying out, you know, to you elect, whoever you are, you know. When you're out and about and you see the look on the faces of these people, man, right? You know, they're looking at you like, man, when are y'all going to get back in power? I'm tired of this shit. You know, because you at this, you know, you get to a point where you can just read people's spirits, man. You can read people's spirit. So it's just like, man, y'all ain't back up in power yet, man. You know, because the whole earth is crying out, right? But that's what that first 1,000-year period, you know, that first day in the kingdom is gonna consist of. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Because when you look up a 1,000 and you just look up like the spiritual meaning of it, just look up the spiritual meaning of 1,000, 1,000. You know, just going through a few things, it says, and then it pretty much should all line up. You know, I'm just typed it in real quick on Google and, you know, just going through all these headings. But it says it often signals that it's time to take a fresh start and embark on a new journey. You see? Because again, that first 1,000 years is going to be the reestablishing of the laws, statutes, and commandments. Is going to be, you know, a fresh start, so to say. So yeah, you know, like I said, it's pretty much the same thing. Just that fresh start and the new beginning, so to say. And that's what that first day, that 1,000 years is going to consist of. And we want to be a part of that. Let me go to this. Because like I said, is, you know, Jake, man. Oh, well, since I'm going to, you know, come back anyways, I might as well just, you know, live my life. I'll come back. Nah, man, we want to be a part of that first dominion because, again, the elect, they're going to be part of the creation. They're going to be part of this process of making everything new with and under Yahushua, man. We want to be a part of that as the elect were before. We want to be a part of this process, man, of renewing everything. And this is just a, you know, a piece of a much bigger puzzle, you know. But Micah chapter 4, I'll start at verse 7. And I will make her that halted and I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast far off a strong nation, and the Lord shall reign over them in Mount Zion from thenceforth even forever. Talking about in the kingdom. And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion. All right, talking about the men first, even more so the elect men. Oftentimes when it refers to the daughter of Zion, it's talking about the men. And likewise when it mentions the daughters of Zion, is talking about the actual woman. So right here it says the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee it shall come, even the first dominion. The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. All right. So again, the daughter of Jerusalem. All right, talking about the men. All right. But it said even the first dominion. So this is what we want to be a part of, that first dominion. We want to make it on a first go around. We want to be a part of that process. We want to be one of those pillars, man. Because hey, every Israelite, every Jake that comes back, man, man, again, this is just, like I said, barely scratching the surface when it comes to the role of the elect men. Every Jake is gonna, the every Israelite is gonna go back to one of these elect men, or one of the fathers, man. That's heavy, Like I said, that's just scratching, that not even scratching the surface. Those elect men, they're gonna be on a different level, man. All Israel's gonna be on a level, but those elect men, they're gonna be they're gonna be in a whole different level, man. But we want to be part of that first dominion. We want to be a part of this process, Lord willing, because it's gonna consist of Yahushua and those elect men. All right. But nevertheless, that's what that first 1,000 year in the kingdom, all right, is what's going to consist of, taking this curse, this cancer out of the earth, and undoing all the wickedness, pollution, and everything that Esau has done. It's going to be the undoing. So Lord, one of this was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully, like.